up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of
Let us sip.
It's Your Girl Brittany.
It's your girl, Kaylani.
Trophy selfies in the building.
Welcome back. How are you?
Welcome back. What up, ladies?
How are you guys doing? How was the weekend?
You know, the weekend was very, very, very productive. Starting from Friday, your girl went to Brooklyn to go to one of my hairstylists 1 year anniversary event. That was really dope. Shout out to Des. Saturday, I was out sweating in the streets, literally handing out flyers because we got an open outdoor pop-up shop for my church in Rockaway this week. So I was out there putting the groundwork, I had my little ministry, had two of the girls with me, dropping flyers off throughout Rockaway. It was so cute. And then Sunday, as y'all can see, I was a hair model. For a L'Oreal. So I got a little frontal on right now. Okay.
Shout out to them. Shout out to them.
Shout out to them. Yes, they be supporting us heavy. One of my close friends, Toma from high school, this is one of her many businesses that I support. So shout out to them. And we just thugging and bugging today. We just we out here. We out here barely, but we here.
So how about you,
What
Sophie?
about
You was out coasting, huh?
Yeah, it's all over the motherfucking world. I went to Atlanta, got some family out there, and I decided to go. Like my peoples that came down on Thursday, I'm like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna do family before my friends come down or after? And I realized family be pissing you off. So I'm like, you know what? I'll deal with friends on the leave out. Because I don't want to deal with friends first and then I come back to the town with attitude, even though today was a crazy day. But nonetheless, if it was a crazy day and leaving from family, my fucking God. But nonetheless, yeah, Atlanta. Shout out to them, had a good time, went to the Trap Museum. What else I went to?
Yeah, I saw he's gonna have to free
Magic
you at
City.
first.
Yeah, I thought my sis was locked up for real. I said, oh no, nah. Yes, but you was out here in these streets. Where else you was at in ATL? So
I
tell
went
the people where you
to
was at.
Magic City also. Shout out to them. Jesus Christ, the bitches out there. But nonetheless, we got some peoples out there. We got Sonero. Uno was down there. A couple of our peoples. We ended up going to the strip club and making do what it do. I done almost brought a bitch back with me, but here I am. And I still got money. I'm surprised of myself. I took out $300 out of the ATM. $300 out the ATM because I came in there with $200. I said I'm not giving them no more than $200. I took out another $300. You know that ATM charged me $60 to take out $300.
Oh, absolutely not.
Excuse me.
I would not accept those charges, sir.
Nope. I don't know them. I don't know that person. I'm calling my bank.
If I would have did it with Citibank, possibly, but I got MCU, so I can do it. But we ate some good food. I realized what it is about me and niggas. Listen, King, y'all gotta know your worth. Like you guys are too easy. Every place it is that I went to, this was niggas on my back. On Saturday night, I just ended up like, let me just stay inside. I'm just tired of you niggas.
Tired of them.
Kings, know your worth, man. Know your worth. But I met a good assortment of people out there. Like I said, shout out. Atlanta gives me that same DC vibes. Like any area, and it's like that range between like 28 to like 42, which are that young crowd, and they get into the money. I like to see shit like that. So shout out to Atlanta.
And black.
I love Atlanta.
Black.
Shout out to the A.
What was wrong with the Nets out there? It was like so many Nets. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, what the fuck were you bugs fucking coming from?
Yeah, well, I didn't really do too much. Just some family time, some much needed family time. We got some drinks, some dinner, and my cousin's birthday was Sunday, so we ended up smoking a blunt with him and kicking the shit. So Good vibes, good vibes. Can't complain. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the sip of the week. If this is your first time listening, every week we pick a word and throughout the conversation we say the word. So this week's sip of the week is going to be the word nasty. When we say the word nasty, we need you to pick up your cup and drink what's in it. So let's go ahead and practice. Nasty, nasty, nasty.
Nasty, nasty, nasty. Everybody scream.
Let's move on to the news we can't use. Let's go. Sophie, what you got?
So the news that we can't use, ladies and gentlemen, where's the drum roll? I'm telling you, we're going to get these sound effects together. But nonetheless, so one of the news that we cannot use, Russell Simmons. He's going to sue Kimora for using his shares in an energy drink to fund her new bae husband legal fees. He said no one told him shit. He was just digging in
Ghetto.
Did he come back from Bali?
Yes.
Or is he in Bali making those claims? Because that nigga dashed out of here when them charges
quick
around.
Quick fast.
We definitely need the sound effect. We definitely need the sound effects.
Little road runner. That nigga was out.
Bye bye.
Oh my God, yo.
I don't know.
Only rich people, I swear. Like, what the hell? Like,
I think it was it might be a media hoax, my opinion, because they're not married. So how did she get access to his shares in the stock?
Well, I mean, her lawyer, I see today, released a whole statement saying how dare he say such a thing. It was like a whole workup today. Was like part 97 of 9,042,000. So I'm like, I guess. So he said that she was pulling out of it without his consent. So she was getting the money. You know when it is, you have the whole stock.
But how can she? But how can she if it's his, and she's not supposed to have access to it?
He could have left it to her, but like, I'm gonna leave this one shift for you, but let me know, and maybe she ain't let him know, and then think he was going to probably do his diligence.
I don't know, because he don't even have any stake in that company. So
the energy drinks.
Yeah.
For the energy
He's not doing nothing. He has like stock in it, but he doesn't have any like parts of the day-to-day or something like that. I heard
but it might not be a marriage thing. It could just be a power of attorney thing. Because you know how things go. If you've been riding out with somebody, even if y'all not married, it's like, I trust you enough that you can make these decisions, even if I'm here. So even if she give them a call, hey, this is Kimora, and, transfer this not to his account, you put it over there, they'll do it if she's down legally.
If she has a power of attorney, yeah.
And I don't see why she wouldn't, because they do have 2 kids together that they,
But she was bailing out her new husband because he got caught with money laundering. So it technically ain't got nothing to do.
Because that's what good dick have you do. It just have you do some real stupid shit.
I don't know. I want to see the.
I would never. Personally, to each his own. I would never. Maybe she thought he was in Bali. It was gonna take a little minute to get to her. She could figure some shit out.
I just want to know how she got to it. If it's true, I want to know how she got to it. And you need to find your way to court, Mr. Simmons.
A-Rod, he got some makeup for the men. Got a little concealer so they can snatch it together. So, ladies, how did y'all feel? Before we even get to the makeup aspect of it, these guys, what's that shit called? A Beijing? Whatever that shit, when they their beard is all lined up and it ain't their beard. Now they got the makeups too. So if you roll over, y'all are single people, you roll over, you see the bed on the pillow, and you see the makeup on the pillow. What y'all doing? Y'all leaving or you staying? That's all we want to know.
This shit better be mine, nigga. You got 2 seconds to explain, okay?
That sound like a case of a bad bitch out here. I don't know.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I don't like.
Unless you have, okay, because I'm a makeup artist, I'm gonna play devil's advocate real quick when it comes down to men in makeup. Now, unless you are on a set and it's a production situation, and they gotta lightly just touch just to get the blemish or whatever, cool. For one day, for production, you know what I mean? Or if you know you an average man and you may have got some stupid tattoos or got a tattoo on your face, now you want to get a, have an interview, you get a little dermablend, pop, 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 you be good to secure the bag. But if you are just doing this on a regular Monday morning, this is your routine, like how I be getting under my eyes, you like, no, babe, I got to get under mine too.
Yeah, that's metrosexual at its finest.
Yes. I've never dated a metrosexual, so I'm like, I'm not going to judge it, but that shit it would be a little bit much for me. I don't know.
That shit crazy.
Like wearing makeup and my man wearing makeup too, like pass me the mascara, I got you. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like I'll be opening the door for him to be doing other shit. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think it's that deep. I don't know. I just think it's a little. Are
you jacking your man wearing makeup or your husband? Because you ain't got no man. Your husband.
Right, but you gotta. We say that
he has oily
stuff. That beard stuff is technically you spray painting that joint on too.
And I cut his ass when he came home when he tried to spray paint. I cut his ass too. I was like, something don't look right. You a little dark today. That didn't work out.
Of course it is. They be trying to push the agenda, the barber and stuff, depending who it is you go to, and it's popular for it. But it's like, I've never heard a chick, and I be hearing chick, I never heard a chick like, girl, his bed don't connect. I ain't giving him no pussy. Like, I never had heard that conversation. So in which case, I don't think for us it's that serious. It's more serious to them.
No, it's serious to me with the Beijing. I'm sorry, you call me vain. It's a serious situation because it's how they be like, oh, they would never tell. They'll never tell. How would they know? That is like one of those, like, nigga, I can see it. Like, I know.
But what I'm saying is that if it doesn't connect, we're not gonna be like, I ain't fucking with him. His shit don't play.
Right.
It's lighter here than here. Oh, I'm not gonna know. No, you see, and you say we're vain. Okay, let's take it back to the German boy, guys.
No, I know I'm vain sometimes. Listen,
I'll do the just for men. I don't mind the just for men.
Oh yeah,
that's not it. That's not as bad.
No, just for men, like you said, yeah, I'm cool with the just for men because we gonna be in our 60s one day, 50s, and listen, my husband might want to spice it up, like
But it doesn't look as fake as the Beijing.
You're all white, right? When you're all white and them niggas be trying to put it right, like smack dab right here, and now when they sweating, it's just dripping everywhere, and like do the whole box.
They caught your man.
When they do the little outline in the Beijing, I can't stand that. That drives me crazy, y'all.
When they caught your man Giuliani, if it is that we're up in age, is understandable. And I used to ask guys this all the time because I'm like, yo, if a chick has gray hair, and they're like, well, it depends how she take care of herself. So for me too, it's not the gray hair.
I like the gray, a little
in high school. If it is that you are gray and an older man, and I'm up there too, or even me being a younger person, and you are fit, you're taking care of yourself. It's like, okay, yeah, you got the gray, but you still fine. Now, if it is you got this full of gray, you like 40 years old, and you're just not dressed nice, you don't smell good, you're overweight. It's like, no, you need the just for men because you need. Don't look this old because everything about you tells me
you need something.
Like when I was in Atlanta, there was some dude that was sitting next to me and my homegirl, and we started talking, and she's like, yeah, I like him, but he got the gray and he's giving me but his body was like, I was like, we don't even know if he's old, reality of it, because people gray super young. I said he could be like 40.
Right, I say some people genetics. They got grays in their 30s.
Old. Yeah, but how he talked was like a young nigga. How he dressed was like a young nigga. He had a good body frame. So I'm like, I don't know.
When I was a
what
kid,
y'all feel about?
It was a kid
what y'all feel
with
about the
hair.
polish? Oh, I know you talk about with the gray hair.
A young boy in Edgemont. Yeah, he had all gray.
So how y'all feel about Little Yachty coming out with the nail polish for men?
What?
I feel like niggas been wearing nail polish for mad long, especially the dude from Love and Hip Hop LA.
Oh boy.
Lyrica husband. He don't play about his nails. Like it be some guys, especially on that rock star tip. Now, like they be getting like the little symbols or
That's his name.
A1. Yes, get
He
him
got
in
a
some
new name
respect.
now.
My bad.
He got a new name. He ain't A1 no more. It's another name. Because he
And it
challenged
ain't
MC
nothing
Hammer.
A1 about no grown
He
man
challenged
wearing
MC
nail polish.
Hammer a couple of weeks ago, and he's another name. But nonetheless, we get it.
What's next on the docket? Nasty.
Nasty, nasty,
All right.
nasty.
So, guys, we are opening up. I mean, we always open up in any which way, but nonetheless, we are opening up. The world is opening up. COVID is like, it's no COVID no more. So there's a lot of things that's going on, and they're initiating a whole bunch of different things. They got United Airlines. So you have to enter some sort of sweepstakes, and 30 people, they're going to give them 2 round-trip tickets. We have Uber and Lyft. They're driving people to vaccination sites, and that's your city. I don't even know. I was going to bootleg and go to a nigga house and put the vaccination shit down the block, but that's some other shit. New York City public schools are opening up fully. You cannot even have remote learning when it is that it begins in September. And we also have something in New York City called Vaccine Scratch. That means you go get a vaccine, you get a scratch-off card, and you can possibly win $5 million. So how do you guys feel about this fishing rod for people to, because it's going crazy this week. Okay, they like this Monday, they kicked it off with like 7 million things. Like, maybe I need to get this vaccine.
Well, I got my vaccine, and my job is they're doing drawings daily for $10,000 if you come back to the office. It still ain't pulling me in. It's nice, yeah, it's great, but the likelihood of it being me, you have to be in the office to collect the money. And then they have something where they're doing a trip, because my company has like their own jet or whatever. So they'll fly you to Barbados for a week's paid trip, and you can bring a friend. But that's like the ultimate prize. I don't know when that's supposed to happen, but nonetheless, it ain't moving me. It ain't moving me. None of that shit. It's a good idea, especially with the vaccines, especially with the people getting the Ubers, like especially for the older people and stuff. I think that's dope. But I'm not into the office atmosphere, so that shit ain't really pulling me in. But what about y'all? How y'all feel?
I ain't mad at you, Brittany. I am not mad at you, because if Kehlani had thy choice, I will be pro crib, okay? I will be pro crib. I will be pro saving coins with clothes, okay? Mind you, during the whole pandemic, I think I probably bought like 1 pair of slacks and maybe 1 shirt, because I just refused, okay? In my mind, I'm still at home too. So is people at home buying slacks? No. Are they buying shirts? Hell no.
No, go ahead.
Right. If anything, they buying pajamas, nice pajamas, that little pants, little comfy,
But
clothes.
it's a lot of companies that did require people to do a Zoom just like we're doing every day. And that's why I was like a Japanese or Chinese company that came out with suits that look like suits, but they're sweatpants material. Like they stretch.
Right.
Because they had to actually be on Zoom. They still, them people still going to find a way to make some money. But for me particularly, as far as go into an office, I was watching like Dr. Oz today, and they did a survey throughout the United States, and they're like, if they tell you that you have to go back to work the normal 5 days a week, 40% of people said that they're going to quit. That's a lot. That's a big percentile. Because they're like, not only they're dealing with the anxiety of the office, because we're all back there and still in the back of our mind, who's vaccinated, who's not. And it gets kind of weird
still dirty.
So just imagine how you feel when you have no choice. And it's like, you want to work for this company? You got to go inside. Crazy. It's so tough.
It gets kind of crazy for the technicalities of course, even though you have it's different screens, you still can get it. That's one. You got older people you live with. You got kids that you live with. That's another thing. And then also it's like, keep your distance. People in the offices, they don't never want to keep their fucking distance. They be right here. Back the fuck up. So it's the anxiety of the coming to the office, the possible you still could get COVID. Then they're like the travel. Now you got all these people back on the road, or if you're in public transportation, you got all this stuff. So 40% said that they would quit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Brittany, just imagine how many people was in your job building.
Oh, so it was a lot.
Now, you in there, and it's over 50 of them, knock on wood, that's positive, like happening back to back to back to back to back to back. It's like, oh, da is in the hospital now. This one, and they don't close.
Mm-hmm.
And you wonder why people fucking bugged out in New York City and crazy because they got 18 million people now. Everybody's driving now because nobody's really want to get on the train. It's so sad. Like, people been getting murdered during COVID in New York City. Nobody's been really raving about that on the train. Like, they had a whole serial killer. Yes, serial killer.
Happen like literally every day.
You have elderly that's getting snatched off the train and getting beat up. On top of the time of the whole Asian hate crimes and everything has been going crazy, in New York alone. And it's just been chaos. Like, it's just been chaos all over the goddamn place. And then you got me that still got to go to work every damn day. I'm just like, wow, sitting in that traffic. It's a hot mess. It ain't right.
And I, from experience of just being on the train, I can tell like a lot of them people are just missing a fucking medicine. Like a lot of these people are seriously disturbed, and they're not getting the proper care that they need. And for you to just, I mean, not to excuse the crimes that they are committing, but instead of them throwing them in jail and letting them rot, you need to go ahead and take these people into mental health facilities. This is Mental Health Month, and need to get these people some help. But everybody's stuck in what their own shit is that they got going on, that they're not paying attention to. Well, why are we running into so many schizophrenic people? Like, we were on the train, this lady was yelling and screaming. Next she started smoking a cigarette, and we just looking like, she not right.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what the thing, like I said, that it's the stipulations of it all, right? And then it's like, once it is that we go back into this office, by law, HIPAA laws, right? You can't know if a person got a vaccine or not. So these are people that just say, yeah, I got it. Unless it is you're signing something, you can't know if it is. So it's like Costco said it's okay to come in with no mask. It's like Walmart. It's a couple of companies.
And a lot of people been losing their card.
Ask you that. They can't. Legally, they can't. And so then it's like, we already didn't address mental health just in general. Now we have COVID that came in, that took over everything that deals with healthcare. This was number one. So these people that would normally go into a building for psychiatrists and get medication, they're super pushed to the back. And a lot of them, just mental wise, they couldn't even go into this office and have a sit down with these people. You had to do it through Zoom or through FaceTime. They don't know how to do that. So mental health was already not on the forefront of it all. Now it's super pushed back. Like, what? These people possibly wouldn't have got this crazy if they paid them attention while COVID was happening, but they're not. Now here we are.
They're not. Nasty. Literally everybody's a number. You have people going crazy because I got my COVID test on date, and now I have to wait over 21 days or, to get it. And it's not fair. You hear, it's so much. Or my doctor's appointment was pushed back because this one, or you got to think about people that had chemo. It's like none of that stuff really stopped. But at the same time, it's, everything is pushed off. Everything is pushed off. So it's just a tough time. You got to say prayers for people that deal with mental illness. And hopefully we have an outcome with it, It's real. Nasty. There
you go.
There you go.
Nasty, let's go ahead and hop on the topic train, y'all. This week we are talking about you guys. When I say you guys, I mean men. We are not really going to go over too much of what happened with the Joe Budden podcast. It's been all over. Everybody's giving their own think pieces, and we're not about to add to the bunch. But what we're going to talk about is his situation with Olivia Dope. Now, if y'all don't know the story, she was on his female-led podcast. See, the thing is, she left the show because she claimed sexual harassment. And she did it on live, not on her live, on her Instagram page. And basically, he just said some derogatory things to her that she felt was inappropriate. He mentioned that he wanted to fuck her. He mentioned that she was fuckable and some other stuff. And it just made her feel
He been
uncomfortable.
wanting to get next to her.
Yeah, he been wanting to get next to her.
When they was hugging and she didn't even realize he was grinding his hips on her.
They should be a power couple on podcasts and
yeah. So I mean, you can't really. My thing is, you can't really tell nobody how to feel. If she felt that that was inappropriate, that's her feelings. And I seen a lot of people just with the saying to her like, well, why you wait so long and all this other crap, or why you laugh and stuff. And I just think that it was fucked up. Like, you can't tell a person how to feel. And I think
you can
that's
tell a difference from a nerve laugh to like, oh, she think that shit is hysterical. She did a that's a nerve giggle,
it was awkward,
you know.
And she said this is
an awkward laugh. It was definitely, I felt awkward watching it and felt uncomfortable watching it, honestly, because it's no different from the work environment when you have somebody just say a little pass that you like, oh, check you out, da, 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 like, you know, and then it's like you left it just like, you know, instead of popping on, you know, what the hell? But
right, you can't always.
I think that Olivia held it very ladylike. I think she was definitely a lady throughout the time, because if he would have tried it with somebody else on a different block on a different day, like, I think that whole production would have been a situation, you know. But she was very professional about the situation, I felt like. But what do you think, Brittany, about your boy?
I don't really have no feelings. He did apologize, but my thing is, he has that weird type of humor. And this is not me defending him, but you know, I might not have been offended, but I can see how she was offended. I don't know if he apologized to her behind the scenes or however they got in contact, but you know, it's weird. We hear all that, Kay.
I'm gonna... Sorry.
What about you, Sophie?
The mute.
I feel kind of both sides of the whole ordeal. I mean, the thing is that anything dealing with stuff like that, it falls differently on different people, right? And I think it's more about the range of your friendship, because if it's anyone that says anything, even me, you know, I post a million sexual things, but if you're somebody that I don't fuck with like that, you can say something to me that someone I do fuck with like that, and for that I do fuck it, it'll be funny. For the person that I don't, it'd be like, you don't know me like that. Like, where are you even coming from? Right. But like I said, it also depends on the person, because if anytime it is that I feel uncomfortable, and I've been on a lot of male podcasts, I'm going to shoot some shit back at you that you feel uncomfortable. Now, how is it that you feel? Now you in the hot seat. You want to see how what, and you talk about all of this.
Exactly. Yeah, I do. Exhibit A. How about Exhibit A, ladies and gentlemen.
So it really depends on, and I was watching that Kevin Samuels thing like a couple nights ago, and you got to be inquisitive enough for, like, certain dudes, you got to come packing, because Joe is one of those mouthpieces. He says a lot of smack, but if you're able to go toe to toe with somebody like that, it might not be that bad. And it for things, and for me, it'd be like, was it that bad to you? Or did you take it, for anything dealing with stuff like that? Was it bad to you, or did you take it back to someone and y'all converse and you like, did you let he spoke to you like that?
Right, because you may not have seen that.
It might have not fell on you like that. It might have been dry to you, but when you speak to somebody else, they like, and now you're thinking about it and replaying it, and you're like, yeah, that wasn't appropriate.
If you're not my man, you should already know. Like, that's not cool. Like, you're not, especially how, if you watched it, you know, if a lot of people didn't watch it, they said multiple times, like, you know, I wish we was cool. So you already know that they haven't built that relationship for him to be on that type of time, you know, like, and even when he basically downplayed the other two girls, basically saying that they don't dress sexy enough, and Olivia, and then he tried to amp it and say, like, but the people think, no, the people don't think shit. That's what you think.
But they do like her. They do like her. I liked her.
I like her
good
too. But I mean,
I thought she brought
and
something
then I
good
like
to the show.
I like how one of the other hosts, she basically was like, first of all, this T-shirt, is representing for black, black businesses. Like, I'm representing for a black business. Like, I'm not trying to be sexy, like, and that's like basically saying like, okay, she's still a woman at the end of the day. These are still 3 women that you're talking to. Like, nobody's trying to dress like they on the damn pole to be talking on a podcast with you. Like, so how were they supposed to be dressed? I think they all dress their own style, and you can tell that they all have their own unique style. It's just that Olivia, she just a little more conservative and a little more sexy at the same time. Like, but I mean, shit, like they all look good though. That's how I felt. I was like, that statement couldn't have been like, he could have held that to himself. That's how I felt a little bit.
Yeah, but just how society goes, you know what I mean? It's the looks, regardless what our education is, regardless, we could be better than whoever male, but we got to come into the door looking like a looker. And that's just what it is, right? But it's like, as the time go on, this might be the fishing rod for y'all to look at this. This is not all it is that I have. It's a lot more to this. So okay, it's it. You fishing rod me in, but I got a mouthpiece. Just like I said, it could have been handled differently for that whole.
Like, I mean, I'm not gonna crucify him because of that, but
yeah, absolutely not. But I mean,
but that's Joe. I think as just a person, I don't think it's for this per se.
But Joe, not everybody's jacking that. You will get cursed out on production doing shit like that. You can't do that because homegirl to the left, Kiki, and you think homegirl to the right going to give you that same energy. Somebody might match that shit, and he might be like, "No, my bad. I ain't even trying to." But park that shit down.
Respect.
Relax.
Right.
Now
you got your respect.
Relax. Respect my shit. Right. Like, respect me for having me on the show. So respect me when I'm on the show. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna say that to your nigga. Don't say that to me. That's how I feel. Like, I'll be that bitch that be looking like a whole fucking snack. Don't do that.
Because if you
right
do
on the
me,
fucking screen.
Now I got a case because you didn't like what I said to you. I didn't like what you said to me.
And people also have to realize is that podcasting, the music industry, this is still a job. Like, they be trying to move it away from, you're not doing a 9 to 5, so we could say crazy stuff. No, it's not. It's still my workplace. So dudes gotta be easy with dealing with stuff like, and it goes for the rap hip hop industry, and a lot of women it is that spoke up at the time, and they would say how dudes would try them because they feel like, oh, this is our comfortable setting. This is not. Yeah, it is. Niggas is getting paid for this. You gotta relax.
Exactly.
The same way it's some guys that carry themselves like true men and gentlemen. And if it's someone girl like, oh, look at that dick print. Like, now hold on, let's stop and let's get into this dick print though. And really put it on him. He might be blushing like, oh shit, like, I feel awkward. It goes both ways. It's like, if you don't want them to be stopping you every 2 minutes, like, nah, let me see how big your hands is, or giving all these gestures, these sexual gestures. Like, now let's get to how big his feet is, or, just like, all right. Like,
because women do that all the time. No, women objectify men, and they don't really have a place to really, vent that issue. So I got a quick little story. My cousin, he has a female coworker, and he was saying how she gave him her work phone number, and then she gave him her personal number, and like everywhere he goes, she want to go or whatever. And he was like, I don't know how to deal with that. And I'm like, well, unfortunately, the times that we're in now, you got to make that shit plain Jane and ask her, yo,
clear.
You gave me your personal number. Does that mean you want me to hit you on your off time? Because he was like, I don't know if I should ask her. No, but it can't be done because he'll hit her, and then this, like, say for instance, he do something to say something that she don't like. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. Exactly. So you have to be
he's
flat
her work
out.
Boyfriend at work, for real. That's what he don't
you gotta
know, because them shits do exist.
Yeah, but you got to be like straight up. You got to be straight up with her and be like, well, you gave me a number. Are we friends, or are you looking for something else? And he was like, yeah, he was like, cause I don't know how to really feel. I'm like, she going to lunch and going on runs with you for your job. You need to make that shit as plain as day, because anytime that she feels some type of way, it's her word against yours.
I really think that's the bad part, because I think a lot of chicks, they flirt, but a lot of chicks flirt with cap on it, right? So you can turn it up on a dude, but once he turn it back up on you, you're like, no, hold on now. No, you went there and you made it okay for y'all to go there. So, but nowadays he shoot that same shit back to you, is like, oh no, what happened?
Oh my God.
Up this
clutch
door,
the pearls.
and now here it is. Right. And I tell all the dudes it is that I talk to, and they be like, yeah, this bitch came in here and she don't know me, and I'll back out. I'm like, clock in and clock out, my nigga. And that's just it, which is bad, but clock in and clock out. But a lot of dudes are really, as far as the work field, they're predators for it. Like a lot of guys have women, they have wives, they have fiancés, they have girlfriends, and this is the only time reality they have to come out. So they're gonna try it because they don't go nowhere else besides home and work. This is their playing field. Even if it is, I'm going with some coworkers, your wife will be more reluctant to bite your ass because it's like you're out with people from your job. And of course, I want you to have your own life. But they be utilizing that shit like it's a fucking dating scene. And it shouldn't be. Like, you're at
and
work.
People try to be funny. Exactly. All the time, especially when they know that you're married or they know you're in a relationship. They're like, oh, let's go out for drinks, or are we going out for a drink, or is this in your mind? We're going out on a date. You know what I mean? Like, because people be like doing a lot of shit in their mind, and that mind be thinking all other type of shit. It'd be like, you think you just grabbing some chips from, you like, this is our first date. It's like, bitch, right. Now you going around the office that da and me is dating and shit. You know, people thinking, assuming because she's always up your ass. So it's like, is she your manager or are you hers? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on here?
Especially with COVID happening, people were super using it for like the dating scene. You know what I mean? Because people weren't allowed to go nowhere. No one else was doing nothing else but there. And I was conversing with, like, we all signed a paper. Do not fraternize. Everyone done signed the fucking what we're not supposed to do. But yet,
don't shit with, don't eat where you shit. Plain and simple. Keep that shit separate.
That be my thing. For me, particularly, even before COVID, I don't like dealing with people from jobs at all. And even with us dealing with this podcast, and this here is my job also. So it's always, Sophia, don't fuck the guests. But I wouldn't do a certain thing because this is still my workplace. Well, on another day, possibly.
Don't fuck the toilet.
Is it? Is it really? You said
nasty.
What about when you clock out? What about when you clock out, Sophia?
But I'm always that person that I could see something. We can shoot the shit back and forth all day while we're working with each other. I'm never gonna take it there. I could talk my shit, you could talk my shit. But like I said, for me, I'm not that touchy person. It's very rare that someone says something to me and I'm be like, I'll work, and I'm gonna shoot it back to you.
I'm coming back.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm coming back. Yeah,
different on different people. But the second that person gets fired, I'm outside of the building before they finish signing the termination papers. Now, what that shit it was that you was talking about? Because we was co-workers, right? You're fired now. That's me.
Yes.
Over. I'm on your ass.
Nasty. Yikes.
I'm gonna sit for the people.
So do y'all think we give black
scorpions, man?
Y'all think we give black men more of a pass than white men when it comes to like believing in stories and stuff when it comes to women accusing men? Because like, I mean, we all still feel like Bill didn't do it, and he was tried, tested, and now is in jail. And by law, he did it.
I'm gonna say it for the people in the back. Until I see a fucking video of this man putting them down, don't talk about Bill Cosby. Do not, because do not talk. That's my grandpa in my mind. No, we're not doing that. Those bitches was hoes. And that's my story. They wanted the dick. That's it. Come on.
No,
We talk
no,
about
no,
Bill
no, no.
Cosby.
He ain't handsome.
Listen,
I'm sorry.
he
He
was
wasn't cute
No,
back
handsome
then
back in the
either.
day.
He wasn't
But
cute
he
back
had
then
that
either.
bag.
Let me tell you
He
this.
had that bag.
There you go.
You have
It
to
was the bag.
understand what it is, how they do black people. They wait for black celebrity until you old and washed up. So when they give you that
Yes.
story, you looking like, look at this old ass creep nigga. He would never do
No.
such a thing. And possibly I'm guilty, Brittany, for backing up the black community because regardless how wrong these white people be, they be sticking behind each other. And we don't see it with Trump. He 1,000,000% wrong, but they're like the
He
Republican.
grabbed
like, yes,
that pussy.
that's our
Yes.
yeah.
So I'm going to stand by Bill all day to the day I die.
Publicly, I got your back, nigga. Behind closed doors, I might be like, that nigga done did that
I'ma
shit.
straighten
Or even
you
for
out.
OJ, like, I know that nigga
Listen.
done did that. But publicly, no, he would never. We don't do stuff like that.
Yes, we don't do stuff like that. That's how I
We
be
do.
saying about R. Kelly. He another one. He ain't have to do nothing that listen, we talk about R. Kelly. Fuck the looks, okay? Fuck the looks. Let's take it there, because your girl gonna take it there. Let us
I'm
sit.
listening.
Nasty, nasty, nasty. Okay, because I'm gonna say it again, and I said it before. What the hell do he need to get out of raping somebody when he literally has pussy out of all ages?
Nah,
Okay?
no. We're not gonna go there.
No, we're gonna take it there. We're gonna take it there. We're gonna take it there and keep it on the down low. We're gonna keep it on the down low about it. Because until
rape
I
has
see
nothing
no
to do
evidence,
with the rape has nothing to do with the abundance of pussy that's around you. Rape is about power and control. So he got these girls, whether they were young or old, in his possession to control
in
them.
his bed.
So that I don't.
Listen, it's going unless we was there, we're not gonna talk about him.
For me, for the people that said he molded those people, R. Kelly, from a young age.
That's a
so
predator.
It's like, where is understandable, but where the parents for me are just as guilty. And
no, we're not leaving them out. They're bad.
Right.
No, but they've been leaving them out. They've been leaving them out. They have not been pointing fingers at none of them parents or I'm gonna say, all right, if I'm gonna take it back, I'm gonna say this. And you can keep this out too, but what I'm saying is every girl had a different situation. Yes, granted. Not all of them was singers and not all of them wanted to be stars. Some bitches wanted to be slutted out. And some of them bitches wanted to be kept because sometimes love comes from all different, some of them may have daddy issues and they felt like that nigga was their daddy in a sense. It's very fucked up. Mental illness is very real. And some of them wanted to be kept. I don't truly believe that every girl, because for one, it's enough power. It's more than them than him. They could at least beat his ass or whatever. But it's no way you're telling me that they probably was cool and that shit was a little kinky at first until they realized what the fuck they stepped into, nigga. This is the chocolate factory. Like it's a chocolate factory, bitch. It's a chocolate factory.
Like the thing that's crazy is
you
just
thought
imagine
this shit was a game. Like he probably you thought this shit was a game.
But just imagine being that girl, right? You go into his house, the studio or whatever, and he beats you up mentally, and he tells you, oh, you can go, but ain't nobody gonna want you. And then you just sitting here like you never expected to be in that situation where you do have the power to leave, but mentally you're not there to actually go. And then you got all these people around you faking being your friend, which are his accomplice, because the motherfuckers is wrong too. And you're just sitting there just stuck. Like, you know how girls be in a fucked up relationship and
it's a lot of R. Kellys out here.
We on the outside like, girl, when are you gonna leave? You never like that to me is scary. And for you to be the parent and let your kid go, that's
dead ass wrong.
Blasphemy. Because if my kid wants to be a singer, I don't know shit about management, but I'll be there. And there's no way that you can separate me from mine. I don't give a fuck how powerful you are. I guess
especially if I have a daughter,
you were supposed to die on.
Especially if I have a daughter. If I have a daughter, I'm going everywhere with my daughter. I'm dead ass. I'm fucking,
but like I said, a lot of people,
way. Like,
but stuff like this, a lot of people are just naive. I remember I was watching like some court show or something, and it was like someone that was a gymnastics doctor, and he was dealing with children from the age of like 6 until maybe 14. And he was so fucking bold that he would do that in the room with the parent. He would be molesting these kids, touching their boobs and body parts while the parent is in the room. But as
he got them too,
your kids, right? They're thinking like, I guess this is fine. But he mom never had a conversation with them to come here.
You gotta hold the parents accountable, B.
Absolutely.
He got the parents too, because the parents be there sitting there. Oh, well, I trust him, and he's sitting there filling your fucking daughter up in your face.
But that's normally what predators do. Before they fuck the kids, they fuck the community. So no one will never think that that's them. They're gonna. The story could come to them a million times, but he done fucked everyone around the whole adulthood.
We had a whole tape of R. Kelly. Everybody watched the tape.
He would never do that.
Everybody watch the tape and let him do what he do. It's
and all the whole community is just as guilty.
Is the music really that good?
Like, I can separate the music from the person.
No, that's how I feel. I mean, now joking wise, you can't joke around rape at all, right? You know, but on a serious tip, R. Kelly music is definitely a different category from R. Kelly's the man, the actions. This is a man that, now we talk about mental health, right? This is the same man that said on live television that I wish that I can marry my mother. Okay? Yes. Look at me.
Nasty.
Yes. And was so serious. He's like, man, I wish I could just marry my mom. Like, he was just so in love with his mother. But he took it from like
hoping it was a comfort zone, maybe.
Yes. To nasty, how do you react when your son really say like, I wish I could marry you, but as a grown man, not as a baby, like, I wish I could marry you, mommy, I'm so in love with you, da da da. But take it to another level. Now, this is also the same man that was raped as a kid too. So a lot of times when people are raped, they do the same behavior that was done to them. You know, so
only one of the two.
Hurt people hurt people. That's a definite fact.
Or you're gonna change. There's only one, two. The exact opposite of what you've seen and was raising, or the opposite for it. I think a lot of the times
people don't learn better. They do what they know. Like, that's how I had sex. That's how people treated me when we had sex, you know?
When you're like this and just thrown into that celebrity life, regardless if it's from a child to adult, that's a lot. Okay. So you don't have this regular dating life. You don't have, if you was a childhood star, you don't have this regular childhood star. It's work. So now it is, as you're being older, a lot of times they're trying to catch up for the younger years that they didn't have the opportunity to deal with these type of age. And it's not giving them an excuse. But this is the reality. Like, therapy needs to be in here. Like, you're now 25. Even though you were a star from 14 and you had a good 10, 15-year run, you can't get that back. You can't fuck with people that are 15-year-old, because now you're 25 and that's not your lane. You have to
look at Michael Jackson.
I knew it was coming up.
I know that. That's why I paved the concrete. Look at that. Look at
See how listen, we ain't about to dip around nothing. No, we not. This is a live
I knew we was coming right through that road. I knew he was coming. Here we go.
Right to Michael. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because Michael had to work, and they were so confused why he wanted to have, monkeys around him, why he wanted to have just a child environment, because he never had it.
Exactly.
He never had it. He never experienced it.
And it goes, and it's bigger than just that portion of it. Even if someone goes to jail and they've been in jail from 17 and now here they come out, You gonna see this old nigga with all the young clothes on. He gonna buy the craziest car. He's trying to make up for that lost time.
Lost time.
And that's normally how it is, just the mind works. But when you start indulging into the minors, no. If you're trying to dress like a young nigga because you down outside of jail and you 55, okay, fine. No, whatever. Not get 50
Not
passes
55.
with shit like that. 55.
Don't own that one button
got
up.
all the Jordans. You got all the your jeans still. Fine. But for kids, no, that's not.
It's always going to be a no for the kiddies now. But
Always
I
a no
wanted
for
to
the
know, before we get out of here, I want to know how y'all feel about women when they don't automatically just come and report a situation. Like, you know, a lot of people get on women because they wait until a certain amount of time to expose somebody. How do y'all feel about that?
So I have, I've been playing devil advocate this whole episode, okay? This whole episode, because I gotta be transparent, right? So when it comes down to the ones that wait, now I feel like Bill Cosby situation, they waited till he literally is about to have that production in his hand and they just swiped that shit and turned that shit left and nasty. Okay. When it comes down to women that when they're children and they're not sure of how to feel or what really happened, or maybe they seek a therapist and they tell them like, no, you was raped. You know what I mean? Like, and now they have the courage, then okay. But if you're doing it as a way to ruin somebody's life and it really never really happened, I think that shit is fucked up.
So
but for the ones that didn't wait, that one that did happen and they actually touched it, you can't get mad at them because not everybody is as bold as soon as it happens. Sometimes like you deal with the traumas, like it take you like 10 years to really like, oh shit, this really happened to me, and really accepting, that I'm a victim. Nobody never really want to fall under, oh, I'm a victim, category, and a lot of time it's like, what's the perfect time? And you got to think about it. It's some people that was raped by their fathers, their uncles, people. A lot of times when you're touched is by somebody that you really know sometimes. Like what do you tell a girl that has to deal with, okay, everybody around her in, high school lost their virginity, but she lost her shit when she was 5 years old. So now she got to act like she a virgin all these fucking years, too. But she dealing with the trauma mentally. Like, yo, what y'all talking about? I remember that flashback when I was 5 or 6 years old, or, that shit is different. Like, or younger children, it's babies that's getting raped. They ain't even get a chance to even date and, give a choice to who they want to give it to and shit, like, but the trauma is serious. So you can't really, okay, somebody may say the next day, all right, yeah, that nigga, he raped me, I could say what he looked like, or sometimes it could be that person that like they're very untouchable or in the streets or whatever, you could probably get killed if you was to say that, So it's very tough. What you think, Sophie?
I'm with you on stuff like this but back to, it's about the people that you have around, and rape is a really deep subject, and it's like a lot of people don't have still again that relationship with their parents to be like, yo, homeboy, it is that you sent me over to, that's the family friend, he touched me. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
The mom and them already have this, like I said, it's like how they fuck the community so bad. So it's like, that's mom best friend. She's not even going to believe me. You know what I mean? Because they already have that feeling, and then they think that this person is more important to them. So like, you got to have that around you, that people make you comfortable enough to even say that. Because that's a big deal from being a child to an adult, for you to be like, yo, this happened. And it life-changing goes for the male aspect of it. It goes for the female aspect of it. And then it's the embarrassment of it. And especially when it deals with the children, or if it deals with homosexuality, and you don't even know where to place this at, or if you were drunk at that time or did drugs at a time, and you're
if
like,
it was just
this
a
is my
one-time
fault.
thing.
Yeah.
Right. Like this is me. This not really them. It's my fault. And it takes a lot for a person to just step out of it and realize this ain't had shit to do with me. That's why rape, it could be from you having on the sluttiest clothes to a sheet. This is some shit that predator seen you and they said, this is what the fuck I'm gonna do. They're a baby. Like you said, they're literally under 1 year old, and people. So this is what I said. Certain things I think it is we got to prove until whatever innocent. When people be dealing with kids and people that can't protect themselves, or elderly people especially, it's like, yo, let's just throw away, let's set this nigga bitch on fire right now, let's just get this thing over with.
I think it's more mentally messed up. I think it's more mentally messed up when you talk about the homosexuality. Like, God forbid if like Ray Ray touched your son, now they nobody in, but your son never said nothing over the years, now they confused of why he's gay.
But sometimes
it's shit like that happens
like,
in, you know, a lot of communities on a daily basis. Like, they was raped by their uncle, and now they gay, you know, and you don't really understand why they had that mindset, but that's all they knew for like a few years, because they, you know, they was being touched over the years. Like,
and that's why
right, they don't know where to place
our
it.
Age group. They're drug addicts, they're alcoholics. It's like, what went on in your life that is causing you to do this?
A lot. Because I say this to my husband a lot. I'm like, yo, as I get older and I realize drugs fucked our community up. If you look at kids, like you talk about the 80s and the crack babies and all of that, if you look at it, 9 times out of 10, you'll meet somebody who has a parent who has done drugs. They may not have fallen deep into the cycle, but everybody parents has done it, whether it was casually or they got addicted to it. But now we're looking at each other now, and people our age are having kids, taking their kids to Disneyland and to fucking DR and all of that. And we like, yeah, you know, that's what's up. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Not even realizing that we should have been those kids as well. But a lot of shit back then fucked up the whole family household, that we are looking at this shit now as a treat. And white people been doing this shit.
Right.
Been doing this shit. And then like we're giving fathers like the high five of being a father because they never had no father. And we, half the time it was either drugs or fucking crime that took the father out the household. And it's just like, it's a shame that we're now just bigging up shit that should be normal.
Right. Not normalizing regular things, that Black people travel. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's a lot of people that travel by coastal out of the country, go to, you know, tours, you know, and like 2-week vacations, you know, like that's our color. That shit is normal. But, you know, especially that's why I love social media and the times that we in there, because now you can physically see that. If you want to do a hashtag, you know, Black and travel or whatever, like you can see that our people, if they able to do it, you able to do it, you know, like
right. But you know, the back end of that also, Brittany, is, as you said, it was what was going on during that time. And a lot of people that didn't experience that, or moms that niggas came before them, fathers that drugs came before them. I unless you're a fucking bug out, no one sits down as a parent and say, I'm going to do this purposely to hurt my child. They thought that this is what it is that they needed to do at that point. As you being a parent, you're going to think something different. Like, if I was that, I wouldn't have did that. And I experienced that with my sister and with my moms and stuff like that. But it's like, you have to have that conversation. You have to have that therapy to move on forward correctly, because you can't raise a new kid and take them on all these trips and you didn't experience shit and think that it's going to sit right. It's not. You're going to have resentment towards your own parent. Like, why the hell? No one never took me. Why the hell I'm over here spending all this time? Nobody spend no fucking time with me.
But as you realize it and you get older and having children, you automatically realize that your parents were people too. Your parents had lives before they had you. So like you said, yeah, I know for a fact 9 times out of 10, my parents or anybody else's parents didn't say, oh, I'm going to be neglective, or, you know, there's not no shame to my parent or nothing like that. Brittany. Right. Like, fuck that kid.
Today's going to be the day I'm going Shoot,
Fuck them kids.
Well, today I'm gonna hurt the
Niggas say,
shit out of
right.
Britney.
Some niggas say, fuck you in that baby.
Right.
Dead ass.
And
Unless
it's
they
like-
are
You in
mental
that,
people, because there are people that
Right.
be scolding their kids with hot water. They thought at that time
They
boy,
not right.
trying to poison. They wanted to hurt.
They
the
not
kids.
right.
But as far
Exactly.
as stuff, just like the regular,
They
it's
probably
like,
did it as a party thing, and it turned into something way deeper than what they expected. And then we can't go back. We can't get in the fucking time machine and go back and,
it
change
it
shit.
doesn't
So
mean
you
that
either
they
gotta
love you
just-
any less.
Exactly.
And
They
nobody
did what
has
they
a
could.
manual how to be a parent too. It's like
Nope. I'm still looking for it. You
Trial
guys
and
have to
error.
let me know.
trial and
Yes,
error.
you freestyling
You're an
that
awesome
bitch.
mom. You've been doing the thug thizzle, B. You've been doing it. You a walking
Thank you, boo.
testimony, mother. Okay. You could have
Thank
been
you,
Brenda,
boo.
but you was
But
not.
you, as
God
it
had
is,
other
as
things
time
for
go
you.
on,
She was
as
Brittany,
time
not Brenda.
goes
Brittany.
on, as time goes on, nasty, you're gonna figure it out, and you figure it out more as time goes on. That's why when it is that you see people as grandparents, they're better than when it was that they were
Yes.
as
They let the
parents.
kids do
And
shit
it's like,
that
yeah,
they will not
my
let us
cousin-
do.
Right.
Right.
My cousin, we had a conversation a couple of days ago, and it was like a big bug or something that she seen that she was around when she first had her child. She left that motherfucker in the bassinet. She was out. Kids that she didn't give a
Somebody got to call the
thinking
cops.
about.
Somebody got to
out,
call the
right?
cops.
He
But
can't
now
call
she
him. I
went
gotta
through-
call him.
She went through the same thing like 2 weeks ago. She was like, I see this
Yo,
big ass bug.
yeah.
I took the 2 kids. I was out. She's learning as she goes along. Like now she get like
It
she
takes
realizes she got 2 little human beings that she's responsible for. So instead of her just peeling off, she got to grab the 2 little
Everybody got to
human
go. Right. You got to let them know it's a
Everybody gotta
fire
go.
drill. It's fire drill.
Yup.
It's fire
beings.
drill.
Pack
You
the
live
shit,
and you
let's
get
go.
it, you get it
Mhm.
together. You live and
Right.
you learn.
Right. So let's go ahead and jump into the nighty night cap. Oh.
Nightcap.
I'll go first. My nightcap is basically, to stop judging the girls, and because like it really just pissed me off with the whole timing situation. Why you wait till then? Why you wait till now? You don't know what be going on in people's backyard, so give these people grace. And if it's proven that that girl was lying, the truth will come out eventually. If we don't get it here on earth, we will get it in the metaphysical, right? It's called the metaphysical in that place.
Judgment Day.
There you
Like,
go. There you go.
when you meet your maker.
And also allow people to show you their actions. Like it's like when we in a relationship and a nigga say sorry, like yeah, he's sorry, nigga always sorry ass motherfucker, and they don't really be that way. But you gotta allow people to show you that they've changed. So giving
Mhm.
people grace and stop touching people, y'all nasty asses. Stop touching people and
Nasty.
stop
Right.
stop being so comfortable. Stop being
Right.
comfortable
Right.
because niggas just get real comfortable. We can have a great conversation. Keep your hands to yourself and your comments because you fucking up with the wrong one, barking up the wrong tree.
Barking up the wrong tree, gonna meet your man.
Little baby.
Was that fluffy? Was that good for little
Little
fluffy?
pit bull in the
That
skirt. That was
baby.
fluffy.
That was a pit bull. That was a fluffy. Huffy ain't got that heart you just had. That was a pit bull out that bitch.
Brittany, my little cute poodle over here. That was a
That
cute
wasn't
little
a fluffy
grab.
poodle. That was she
That
had
was
the
aggressive.
urge too. That wasn't a bull. Yes, that's normally pit bulls.
My little chihuahua. You know Brittany only about 5 feet. This is my little chihuahua. She bites.
She a
though.
mini-
She bites.
She a new breed. She a mini pit bull.
It's the
She a
hybrid.
mini. She the micro pit.
Yes.
There you go.
Arrgh.
She expensive. Like I said, she a little expensive.
Yes,
But nah, on a serious note, my nightcap for tonight is keep your goddamn hands to yourself. Okay.
Mhm. Men and
You
female.
cannot, treat Keisha how you treat Tisha. Okay. Those are 2 different women and there's 2 different situations. Okay. Be comfortable with somebody before you just say absurd things. And if you don't want it to happen to your child or your mother, don't do it to the next girl. That's somebody's sister, mother's, cousin, all of that. And she might have a big brother that might take your ass and send you to your maker. That's it. That's my nightcap.
My
Just a
is the
messenger.
same thing. Leave the kids. Stop making people uncomfortable, man. Stop making fucking people like it is. Someone said, like, if you don't want your sister coming back telling you about the same story, right? So stop making it uncomfortable for people. You saying no shit like that. Like I always try for the most part for everything, for work, whatever. I deal with people how I want to be dealt with. If people do some fucking, I always tell, if I do some fuck, I'll be like, I possibly want somebody slap fire out of me. I did some shit. That's why certain things I do, I'll be like, okay, possibly but like I said, it's that, and then make sure that you have people around. I know kids, make kids comfortable enough with you to be able to be like, Mom, this shit is happening. Or even friends, because there's a lot of situations where people be going through it as adults, and when you speak to their friends, they're like, they did tell me that when we were 12, but they were like, don't tell nobody. And they'll hold this secret with them for all of these years. Someone needs to have that. Like, you got to have that person in your life that you can at least have one person to vent with. Because if somebody's indulging in too much shit, you got to be like, what the fuck was going on with you? Like, what happened? Why are you that tapped into certain things?
Oh, one more thing. I got 6 things, y'all. I got 6 things. Okay. So my 6th thing is mental health. Mental health is real. Mental illness is real. And please acknowledge, if you see a friend, brother, sister, cousin that's going on a deep end, don't just pray for them. Have them seek the proper help. Like Brittany said, don't just lock them up. Get them the real proper help. That's it.
And but you know what's bad? We're not even in a culture enough that you can see someone go off the deep end unless they're getting arrested, unless they're underage. Fucking society don't.
Everybody mind their business.
A court is not gonna fucking mandate you until you kill someone. A court is not gonna mandate you unless you're underage and you're setting the house on fire. So it doesn't need to get that bad. Pay attention to your people, man. If this is not their normal behavior, so what's going on?
I'm so ignorant,
you
y'all.
gotta pay attention.
If you see your man that's 50 years old, trying to, be on his Michael Jackson tip, he want to get elephants and shit like that. Now he get older. Call the freaking, listen, now you can have a therapist on your phone. That's all I'm saying. Read the signs. People know the signs. And and hold people accountable. Hold people accountable. That's all I gotta say.
If you see your man's if your man's is in their 50s and they dress a certain way, they had a baldy, now they're growing hair, they trying to get braids, they got on baggy clothes. They want their youth back. And now here they are, young, hollering at the younger girls. Check on him.
Certain 56-year-olds, you can't even say the word "oh." They might fight you. Like my daddy, he might what? Oh, where? I got a whole 6-pack. I put the paws on you. What? I whoop your ass. Yeah, serious. Nasty.
Right. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We thank y'all for listening to us, and we will see y'all next week. Oh, shit. I forgot.
Nigga said nope
on that net. Yeah. On that net. Rewind. Oh Lord. Okay.
Brittany said that shit's sexy and real British on that knit.
That knit.
Proper. You gotta put your pinkies up.
Okay. Okay. So on that note, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. We thank y'all for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube.
Yeah.
And we will see y'all next week on another episode of
Let Us Sip.
Thank you for listening to Let Us Sip. Please remember to subscribe wherever you get your podcast from. And if you like what you heard, leave us a comment. If you feel like we can do better, leave us a comment too. But be respectful. We read everything and only want to grow. So thanks again for your love and support, and we will see you next week.